Hey everyone, Mike Sutton here, owner of Mobilitechs, author of Beyond Tech Support. One of my clients asked me to provide a crash course in SEO, search engine optimization. So I thought I'd throw together a little video, share it with everybody out there. Hopefully I can answer some questions, get you off on a good start. So this is what we're going to look at today, SEO crash course. So first of all, let's start with what is the goal of the search engines. What's the purpose of a search engine? You know, we go to Google, we go to Bing, we type in a search, and the thing that we want back is a result that answers the question that we were asking. And so the search engines look at two factors to try and make sure that they get you the result that you want. They look at the quality of the results, they want high quality results, and they look at the relevance of the results. They want the results that they return to you in response to your search to be relevant, and that's going to answer your question. And beyond that, they want to order those results, sort them in order of quality and relevance, so that the highest quality, most relevant search result comes back first, because they know that's where you'll have the best chance of getting your question answered on the first shot. And ideally, that's what they want, is to have, you know, the top number one result be the one that's the answer to your question. They measure that by quality and relevance. The challenges that the search engines face is that of context, that they don't necessarily know what's important to you. They don't know what you're thinking at the time that you make the search. They don't know what the author was thinking when they wrote the content that they're returning. They can't see the bigger picture. All they can see is what you're asking for and what they've been able to index by crawling all those sites out on the internet. So they've got servers just grinding away, following links through sites, from site to site, within sites, that's just indexing all that content, learning whatever it can. And the only cues it has is the words that are used in that content, how the content is structured, and how sites refer to that content within sites and between sites. So the search engines have somewhat limited information at their disposal for putting this all together, and even given that, they do a pretty darn good job, but their ability to match the quality and relevance of content to the searches being performed has a lot to do with how you structure your site and how you structure your content. And so the process of trying to structure your site and content in a way that makes it easy for the search engine to read as relevant and high quality is optimization. So we're optimizing our websites for the search engines to be able to identify our content as high quality and relevant when somebody out on the internet searches. And that's how we generate leads and traffic to our site from search engines, by being the site that's found as the most reliable source in terms of quality and content relevance when somebody makes that search. So what do search engines look at? You know, like I said, they have servers grinding away, indexing all this content. What do they do with it? And the first thing that they're looking at is the site quality and popularity. And there are a couple cues that they have to look at when they're judging that. In terms of quality, one of the things that they want to look at is the structure of the site. How well organized is it? How well set into categories is the content? How easy is it to find what people are looking for? Do you have to click down 5, 10, 15 clicks to get to the content that you want, or is it easy to find off of the home page? Do you have clear, easy to follow navigation on your website? Do you have unique content on your website? And this is a big one with recent updates. You know, the Google Penguin update was real big on this, that going after people who are farming other people's content. You want to have unique, relevant content on your website, not copying feeds from other websites or reproducing a lot of articles. And you want to be careful about where you have your articles shared. There's definitely value in that to drive traffic back to your site, but you want the content on your site to be unique to your site. They're looking at how often you're posting new content, and also the amount of content that you have on your site. So they want to see that you have a lot of content. They want to see that you have new content coming up so that the site's staying fresh, the information is new and relevant. And it looks at those things as cues for how high quality your site is. The other thing it's going to look at is links back to you from other popular sites. The more popular a site is that links back to you, the more juice, in a sense, that's going to carry when they're evaluating how popular your site is. And then the other factor that they're going to look at is the relevance of that specific page, the content that's on that page that somebody's finding as a search result. And the things that they're going to look at there is the keyword density, the use of the page title and descriptions and the meta tags. And so these are the things that we're looking at in terms of on-page and site-wide optimization that's going to help the indexes, Google, Bing, find your site and identify it as relevant and high quality to the people who are searching. So here's some tips on how to get started with optimization. Obviously, this is a huge field. A lot of people dedicate their entire careers to figuring this out. To some extent, there's a lot that's not known about how the search engines rank sites, so some of it is a little bit of guesswork, but over time we collect best practices and we know what seems to influence search ratings. So here's just a couple tips to get us started. The first thing is to have good, clear, effective navigation on your site so that users, human users who come to your site to read the content, can find what they're looking for. Make sure you don't have any broken links on your site so that if somebody clicks on a link or follows a search result, they're not getting a 404 page or some kind of an error page that says that the content can't be found. Make sure that you're cross-linking articles within the site. So articles are referring to each other, links in your header and footer are referring to articles within the site, and that you're using your keyword text within those links. Also make sure that you're submitting sitemaps to your Google Webmaster Tools and to Bing so that it'll help with the indexing. Check your site load time. Users aren't going to sit and wait for sites to load for 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. If it starts to take more than a couple seconds for your website to load, you're going to lose a lot of traffic that way. And then videos and images can be a great way to draw traffic to your site. Google with YouTube is doing a lot of giving a lot of preference to videos on sites, and that's a huge field. You want to use images that are relevant, but make sure you always have alt text. You don't want to set up a site with a lot of videos and images that are not searchable, because then the search engine doesn't know what to do that. Search engines can't really read effectively the content of images and the content of videos, so you have to include transcriptions, include text that are searchable to the search engine so that they know how to find that. And then again, make sure that you're posting good content regularly. You need to keep your site updated, you need to keep adding content, you need to keep adding fresh, high quality content. And then one final tip on your URLs within your website is make sure that you use good readable permalinks with keywords. So a site like mikesutton.com/great-tips is going to be a little bit better than a site that just says mikesutton.com/page-343. It's a little bit more human readable. Having those keywords in there can give you a little bit of a bump. It'll just make it easier for people to remember and find your site, and may give you a little bit of additional credibility with the search engines. Then we want to look at the individual pages. If you're posting an article through your content management system, if you're creating a new page on your site, whether it's a blog page or a content page on your site, what are some of the things that we can look at there? If we start at the top, the first thing we see is the title. You want your title to be between 60 and 80 characters. You want to have keywords near the beginning of your title. The search engines are going to see that. You want to make use of the description meta tag, which is in the header. And a lot of times this is what you can get to through the plugins or through your content management system's functionality, but you want to make sure that you populate that information, that it's unique on every page, that you're not using more than 155 characters, and that it's well written, because this is the content that people will see with that search engine result. They'll show the title of your page and they'll show the meta description for that page. So you want to make sure it's unique. You want to make sure the whole thing will show up in that search engine result, and you want to make sure that it's written in a way that'll encourage people to click through and bring that traffic to your site. If we keep going through the page optimization tips, you want to use links within your site, links to other articles that you've written, links to your content, links to your social media profiles, links to other pages maybe. And it's important to make sure that you use your most important keywords in the anchor text. So you can see here, the anchor text are the words that actually appear in that link. So here, most important keywords is the anchor text for this link. And if somebody clicks on that, presumably it's going to take them to an article that's relevant for these most important keywords. A lot of times you'll see people use click here for our most important keywords. Now the anchor text here is click here, so the search engine is going to see that, think that's your most relevant text that you want to have highlighted in your links, and it's not going to know what to do with that, because click here is not descriptive in any way. Sure, it's a call to action, but it's not telling the search engine anything about what's going to happen if somebody clicks on that link. The first one is a much better example of how to structure your links for search engine optimization. You can use the rel tag with a nofollow, and basically that's telling the search engine that you don't want that link to be indexed as part of your site. So you would use that if you don't want the search engines to follow that link out of your site. If you don't want to give reputation, give juice to another site going away from yours. So if you're linking to a site that's on a negative topic, not something that you endorse, not somebody that you want to send traffic to, use that nofollow tag. Keyword density. So we hear a lot about using keywords in our blog posts and our site content. So you want to identify what are the keywords that you want to target to drive traffic to your site, and then you want to use them frequently within your content. Now, you want to have a high density, but you also want your content to be readable. You don't want to use the keywords so many times that the content becomes meaningless. It's just nothing but stuffing keywords in there gratuitously. But use the keywords that people are interested in, the things that people are going to be searching for. Use it frequently and use it well within your content. On your titles, we talked about a little bit how you structure your page titles. Also make sure that at the top of your article you use an H1 tag. Again, you could reiterate your keywords, but only use one H1 tag on the page. And then effectively use subheadings further through your content. You know, there's headings 2 through 6. You can use H2 to H6 tags throughout your content. So use those subheadings and titles effectively to draw attention to content within your site. On the content itself, make sure that you're posting between a minimum of 300 to 400 words of high quality, relevant content, and that you're offering calls to action and offers within. You know, a lot of us are trying to generate leads through our website, trying to generate traffic, trying to capture email addresses. Make sure that you're working that into your content on a ongoing and effective basis. So a couple things not to do. Don't stuff your keywords. The content's got to be readable, it's got to be useful, it's got to add value to the people who do come to the site. So yes, work your keywords in, but don't overuse them in a way that's going to make the content unreadable. Don't copy content from other sites. Don't republish other feeds. Generate fresh, original, new, high quality content for your own sites. Don't submit your sites to just bulk directory listings and link sharing sites. Used to be a popular technique, doesn't have a lot of value now. In fact, it can actually hurt your site. And don't make your site entirely flash or images that can't be searched by the indexes. The sites can look really good, they can be very impressive when you land there, but if there's no content there, if you're not using alt tags, if you're not giving the search engines anything to read and index, then it's not going to be doing you any good in terms of search engine optimization. So if you want to use Flash, use it in a way that is complementing the site design, is adding value, but don't necessarily make it the sole piece of your site, because it can make it really difficult for the search engines to know what to do with that website. And if the search engines don't know what to do with it, they're not going to be able to refer any traffic to you. So what do you do next? As I said, this was just a crash course, very high level, broad overview. There's a lot to it. So I'm going to provide some of the text, some of the links that I use to articles in putting together these tips, a bunch of checklists for website optimization in 2013. I'll include them below this article on the same page. And then if you're doing it yourself, that'll get you a good start. If you need help, if you want to bring in a search engine optimization expert, if you need to redesign your website, then just go ahead and ask me for a referral. We'll set something up. You can email me, mike@mobilitechs.com, or give me a call. Phone number's at the top of the website. And that's the end of the presentation. Hopefully I answered some questions, got you a little bit of an overview of what you're looking at for search engine optimization. I'm Mike Sutton with Mobilitechs. Hope to hear from you soon.